battleground where warriors collide. Die Hard MMA podcast, we won't hide. Clint's gonna get deep, analyze each brawl from the underdogs to the champions standing tall. The fury, let your instincts rise. Feel the adrenaline rush, it's time to defy. Die Hard MMA, we're in it for the thrill. Get ready for the madness. Let's make that bankroll spill.
What's going on, degenerates? Happy Friday to you guys. Welcome to the Noche UFC edition of the Undefeated post-weigh-in show. How's everybody doing today? What is up, my chat? We've got Dixon Sider already hanging out here. Thank you for watching the Hot Balls show. Yeah, the Hot Props show there, my guy. Dirty O with the skull coming in here. That's right, starting the season 1-0, baby. My guy JJ McCarthy just had his firstborn child. We're going to have dad strength coming in here to Sunday. You guys ain't stopping these Vikings. That's what's up. What's going on, Essex? How's it going? I love me some air thrust. Let's get after it. Kane. We've got Daniel Flynn. Oh, baby. I am excited to be here and talk with you guys about Noche UFC one more time before these fights kick off. As usual, if it's your first time watching the show, we take a look at everything. We look at everything throughout the week. We broke these things down on Monday with a spectacular guest. We do any additional research. We talk to our friends. We gather all the info that we can. We watch the weigh-ins and the face-offs, and then we sit down here and we talk to you guys one more time and see if we can't make some additional choices, some selections, some little sprinkles on our action for UFC Noche. And that is why this show is undefeated, because when we make it this far into the week and we bust out that tinfoil cap, there is never a bad read. Not on this show. There's never a bad bet. Never one given here on this show. This is the undefeated post-weigh-in show. So I hope that you'll hit that like button. I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. And I hope you'll check out our sponsor, CloudBet, you guys. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description below. Get signed up with promo code DieHardMMA. That'll get you eligible for the $2,500 rollout welcome bonus you guys have available to you thanks to cloudbet.com. Also, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. We've only got another week or two left in the promo for CloudBet, so you've all better listen up and listen up good. They're giving away a grand prize, a VIP ticket to PFL. That's what's up. We're talking Abu Dhabi, baby. PFL Abu Dhabi, and you can hang out with Paul Hughes at his personal after party and get a pair of his signed gloves if you are that VIP winner. 2 tickets to the show. You got to get yourselves there, but everything else is going to be pretty much on the house. Also, you're going to get some custom swag. You're going to get to be there for the whole thing, VIP style. Second place will also get tickets to the show. Third place, you're going to get a PFL X Cloud Bet merch kit, so you won't be left out in the cold for that either. The way you enter this giveaway is after you've signed up and you get all set up on CloudBet, you use promo code Hughes, as in the guy in the fight. Use that promo code, and every $10 you play on CloudBet will roll as a single entry for the giveaway. So every $10 you bet, this is redeemable over and over and over, you guys. There is no limit on this. So get gambling on CloudBet, get those entries up, and win yourself tickets to PFL. And then you got to sit cage side and wear a diehard shirt because I mean that's just part of the deal. If one of you guys wins this thing, like I need to know because I'm sending you a t-shirt so that you can rock the pod over there in Abu Dhabi. No joke. Godfather, what is going on? Welcome into the show. All right, guys, let's get after it. First and foremost, I just need to go out on a limb here and say that Noche UFC is the coolest thing ever. Like I wish they went this hard on everything. Like we've had some epic pay-per-views. We've had some really cool stuff. Alex Pereira's shorts are freaking awesome, but like other cards and other things could have been built to be momentous the way that they used to. I don't know if you guys remember, like I remember when Conor McGregor fought Jose Aldo and they cleared the Vegas Strip. And that preview gives me chills with non-believer in the background and McGregor walking up the empty strip with his army behind him, Jose Aldo walking up the other side of it with his people, like, and these two facing off in the middle of Vegas. I mean, we could go hard like that again, UFC. That kind of promo would be serious, like it would be welcome. I would love it back. But Noche hits that vibe for me, and I love everything they do for Noche UFC. I love how into it they get. And I mean, frankly, you guys, no arguments are going to be had here that Noche UFC is absolutely the best thing the UFC has ever done. So, all right. First fight of the night, you guys. We've got the Ultimate Fighter finale, it looks like. And people were making fun of me and Narco when we did the Monday show this week. We filmed like 3 or 4 days in advance. Narco and I did not have the time to do our usual amount of research leading up into these fights because we literally filmed on like Thursday before UFC Paris. We were trying to both make sure we were available to watch the Vikings season opener on a Monday, which they threw a wrench in my plans messing with me being on a Monday because that's when I got the podcast. I'll miss, or I'll put the first football game on Monday up on like a TV or something. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll catch up at halftime. Like usually it's not a big deal, but when it's the season opener for the Vikings, like sacrifices have got to be made. So this one is the finale, I believe, for Tough. We've got Rodrigo and Denil. As you can see, there is a decent size advantage here for Denil, and I do think that is something extremely notable. He's about a -200 favorite in this spot. Narco and I were kind of split here on this one. I actually like what I've seen from Rodrigo in this spot. I like his grappling. I like his ability to scramble. He's definitely at a size deficit here, and I also believe he's at a bit of a cardio deficit. Narco went the other way on this one. Narco likes the big white guy. So I think we're going to end up passing on this, but I will admit that I'm tempted to just kind of dig my heels in and say what I saw, I believe in, and this kid's plus 170, and I want to take a flyer on it. I don't know that I'm going to actually get there because I'm not overly confident in it, but the one thing I will tell you guys is I would look ever so slightly at the sub prop because I think Rodrigo does have a massive grappling edge here on this one, and if this fight does hit the ground, whether it's a club and sub or a scramble or just a back take, like getting plus 757 over on Cloud Bet. Better than plus 750 for the sub prop on this guy. I think that's the move. We see it over and over and over again when these guys come off of Dana White's Contender Series, or not Dana White's Contender Series. When these guys come off of the Ultimate Fighter, they just launch into the stratosphere. Like somebody looks next level good. Or somebody looks like ass, like that every single time. So it's very volatile. It's very hard to watch these guys and actually have like a real good read on these tough guys without knowing a little bit of something. You got to know somebody, right? Like you've got to have an in with the camp. You got to have somebody's ear to let you know who's been putting the work in or who looks good. Because some of these guys sandbag the entire show and then they look excellent after the show. Some guys are injured in the show because they got to cut weight a bunch of times. Some guys are too small for the weight class. Like it's obnoxious trying to pick a UFC debutante for one of these guys. Colby's saying it's baby blue time. Hey, hopefully so. Hopefully we keep the good vibes rolling. It's been a good little stretch here. Louis Mack Jr., what's up, buddy? Dirty O, no sphere this time. The sphere was the big deal last time, and Dana maxed out the company credit card on that one. That was millions of dollars, and the Mexican fighters went like 1-16. Like they got absolutely stomped at the sphere. So no sphere this time. Still awesome, still epic. No sphere. My guy Dan Tom in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. I forgot to turn on the rolling comments here. My bad, guys. Now you can see yourselves up on the podcast. You guys can be interactive here on the Friday show. That's what we like to do here. But good to see you, Dan. Good to see you, buddy. I wish you luck this week. I think we're gonna absolutely cruise here. Next fight up, we have got some ladies coming up here. Which, and again, I had to send out another redaction here on this one. This is Montserrat Rendon and Elise Pereira. I thought this was Alex Pereira's sister, you guys. I legitimately was convinced that this was Alex Pereira's sister. Again, I was rushing through the work, right? I was trying to get to you guys as quickly as possible, so I mixed up my Pereira ladies, and I did put out a video a little bit later in the week, apologizing for the mistake, so that's my bad. She is far younger than Alex Pereira's sister, but she seems to have some power, kind of like Alex Pereira's sister. So like I said to somebody in the comments, I will upgrade her. We'll go ahead and just let her be Alex Pereira's sister. She'll be adopted if she wins this fight by knockout. I'm impressed by how big she is, frankly. Montserrat's whole thing is being a big old leather boot, right? Like, she's big, she's tough, she wants to get her mitts on you, she wants to drag you to the ground. Rendon is not good, you guys. Rendon is just not good. And I understand the early move, right? I totally get it. They had this girl up at like minus 250 or something like that for her UFC debut. We never lay those kinds of prices, right? We've been burnt too many times. We understand the risks of the hype trains rolling into the UFC and getting derailed and fraud checked that fast. So we just don't do that stuff anymore. But this is getting ever closer to a pick'em. You've got like minus 135s out there, minus 140. On Elise Pereira now. So much cash has come in on Montserrat Rendon that she's plus 130. Like, it's a very tight line now. And this is the spot where you got to fade the market a little bit, right? This is the spot where you got to go, those bookies they know something. They're a little smarter than me. They probably have a little bit more info than me. And they opened her up as a massive favorite. Now, do I want to be laying minus 275? No, I don't, especially not in a women's MMA fight, especially not for a UFC debutante. But if you're giving me a slick, polished striker, if you're getting somebody who's got some grappling chops, somebody who's got a well-rounded MMA game against somebody whose entire game plan is just tough it out, just be tough in there, just hang around, I got to take the martial artist. You know what I mean? Montserrat Rendon is obviously not somebody the UFC is interested in. She's going to be able to take some shots. There's a chance this blows up in your face. But at this spot, you guys, you got to buy low, right? If you're going to bet this fight, it's got to be favored or pass at the minus 135, minus 140 price tag. It's just got to be. Sorry, no hot takes on that one for me. I want to watch and take notes. Pereira, yeah, Jones saying Pereira's going to steamroller here. I think so too. Like, I really think she's just going to be too much for her. And the whole thing with Montserrat being physical and being big, like, you saw them face off. Like, she's not at a disadvantage. She's not looking up at Montserrat Rendon. It's not like she's skinny either. So, I mean, unless she's just like frail and doesn't look it at the face-off, like, I fully expect her to be able to hang in this fight. I really do. And I think it's absolutely buy low, favored or pass. The next one up, you guys, we have got Alessandro Costa and Aiden Coria. I love Alessandro Costa. Alessandro Costa is he is a mean machine. He's a mean little monster. A little bit of money seems to have come in on Alden Coria. I'm sorry, I said Aiden, I believe. Alden Coria. Man, minus 400 really is a steep price for this kid. But at the same time, Alden doesn't do anything for me, right? He's 27 years old. He's coming off of, he's had some LFA fights, and he's been in Fury FC. But he's fought nobody, you guys. He's fought really bad fighters. Anytime he's gotten a step up in competition, fought anybody halfway decent, he's lost those fights. He doesn't seem to have any kind of stopping power. And that's really the biggest thing for me here is Alessandro Costa is a guy that you've got to get the respect of. He's been knocked out twice. And not because he's chinny either, but like, he's lost 2 fights by KO. And you've got to be able to get the respect to back this guy off. Otherwise, he will never stop coming forward. And I just don't see how Alden's going to get him off of him. I don't believe he's got the kind of stinging power in his hands. I don't think he's got the kind of danger that Costa is going to respect and want to get away from. And that being the case, I think he's just going to keep going forward. So when he keeps on going forward, like, I think eventually we're going to see a spot where I think he's in trouble. I really just think he's in trouble, man. I don't like Coria at all in this spot. It's favored or pass. Minus 400 is steep. You could look inside the distance, something like that. But my opinion has not changed whatsoever on this fight. Even though our guy is a little bit on the shorter side, Costa, right? He's a short king. We'll take him. All right, guys. The main event next up is Zach Reese and Cedric Dumas. Holy hell. Zach Reese is a decent amount larger than I thought he was, you guys. He is a decent bit bigger than I expected him to be coming into this one here. Let me see if I can get like a little bit more of a close up here on these guys. No, not you just flexing Zach Reese. Nobody needs to see that. So, I mean, part of my whole thing is like, I know Zach Reese is big, right? But so is Cedric. So is Dumas. But as you can see here, there's levels to this height shit, right? So you've got a guy in Zach Reese who is still a decent bit bigger than Cedric Dumas. And I know Dumas is fighting for his life in this one, and I decided to go ahead and put a big bet out there on Cedric Dumas and plant my flag, and I'm just going to go ahead and ship it on the Zach Reese sucks train, right? I beat the line move. I feel good about that, right? Dumas opened up plus 250. I got plus 230. He was down to like plus 195. Now it's starting to kind of trend back the other direction. Cedric has got to survive the first big shot or two. That's it. He's got to survive the first big shot or two. And then as long as he doesn't do something stupid, which frankly, you guys, that is the bet here, right? The bet is that I'm saying Cedric Dumas, of all people, will not do something stupid. Because if he doesn't get knocked out on the feet, which I don't expect him to, if he doesn't get knocked out on the feet, I think he's a better kickboxer, and I think he's got better durability, and I know he's got better cardio. So he can just go out there and straight up win this fight. It might be a decision, but he could win this fight. Dumas can hurt Reese. Reese has power. Yes, so of course Reese can hurt Dumas, but Reese has no durability. Reese has no cardio and no durability, so I fully expect Dumas to be able to hurt this guy. What worries me is exactly what my guy in the chat said. Jones said Reese sub plus 300. That's probably the hedge. And maybe I should take a little bit of a nibble on that because we have seen Dumas make god-awful decisions, and we know Zach Reese is very opportunistic and very dangerous on the mat. That right there is probably the hedge. I think this fight is a whole lot closer than the line would suggest. I think Zach Reese is a guy that's being way overestimated by most people. I also think people are more down on Dumas than they should be. Not that he's necessarily any kind of prize, but he is better than people are giving him credit for. And frankly, I think a warm body in there can beat a guy like Zach Reese. So I'm taking the shot, you guys. I am taking the shot, but I probably should hedge just a little bit with that Zach Reese by sub prop, because I talk all day about how armbar from guard does not work in men's MMA, but this is some low level shit right here. This is some beginner white belt level stuff that we're looking at. So there's a very, very real chance that armbar from guard materializes in this particular fight. And so I need to maybe think about that. Just saying. I still think Dumas has got this one in the bag. He's going to ship one for me here and bust everybody's parlays, hopefully. Oh, man. Next up, you got Jesus Aguilar, and he's taking on Luis Guruli, which I do love Luis Guruli's snake tattoo. It's pretty freaking awesome. 126 for Aguilar, 125.5 for Luis Guruli. Man. So you've got Guruli, who's a little bit bigger, who's a little bit thicker. I know everybody loves Jesus Aguilar. I've talked this fight to death, you guys. I just don't think there's anything left to say. Like, it's Guruli decision or it's Aguilar sub. That's it. It's Luis Guruli by decision or it's Aguilar sub. That's it. That's all it is. And B. Bert Gilo in the chat here. With the dog chasing again. I'm coming off a cash on Benoit Saint-Denis, my friend. Like, am I not entitled? Like, the dogs have been barking. -5 and 600 favorites are dropping like flies. Am I not entitled to take a shot on a live dog? Right? Come on now. Yeah, this fight is really tough for me. I talked with Narco about this one. A lot of people are extremely sold on Luis Guruli. And I kind of got talked into that side when he made his UFC debut, but I'm off the train. You guys, I am off the Luis Guruli train. I'm picking him to win this fight. I do think he's got a big grappling advantage here. But the way this guy sticks his head straight into opportunities, like this is a Noche booking, boys and girls. I'm not even kidding. The UFC said, we know Aguilar's got one move, and we're going to give him a guy that provides the best opportunity for that highlight reel. They got him a guy who's going to shoot double legs at a relentless pace, who over and over and over again is going to look to put himself right where Aguilar is best. Aguilar's sub, you've got to look at, you guys. You've got to take a look and maybe even take a poke at Aguilar's sub. Like, while we're talking about that, let's get Cloud Bet up here. Plus 643. Plus 34. Plus 634. Jesus Aguilar by sub using our sponsor Cloud Bet there. It's decision for Guruli or it's sub for Aguilar. That's it. I refuse to say anything else about this fight. No, Gilo, what are you doing, man? You guys drive me nuts. Did I at all compare Dumas to Benoit Saint-Denis? You're saying I'm dog chasing. I just hit a dog using my analysis. Am I not entitled to attempt to hit another one? Was what I said. In no way. Like, not even a little bit did I compare those two things. You people hear what you want to hear, man. Like, how are you going to try and come out here and say that I compared Benoit Saint-Denis to Cedric Dumas? Those words weren't even close to coming out of my mouth. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's hysterical after a while, man. Like, come on. I did not say that. Oh my God. Oh, next fight. Move on. Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos. Oh, two big, mean old ladies, man. Tatiana coming in at 115.5. Amanda Lemos rocking the blonde at 116 on the dot. I like this fight, you guys. I like this fight a lot. Tatiana Suarez, I'm scared of. I'm scared of Tatiana Suarez because this is a fight where she should pay off her price tag. And I know it sounds insane because she's like a 4-1 favorite, right? She's minus 440, minus 450. Amanda Lemos can be had at plus 362 per Cloud Bet. But Tati showed in her last fight that if she's not dominating, she can kind of fold up a little bit. If she's dominating the grappling, if she can out hustle you, if she can out wrestle you, if she can get on top of you, like, it's her all night. We've seen it, but we've also seen her slow down a little bit later in fights. She is a little bit older. She's got that injury history. And the biggest thing for me is the loss off the title shot angle, right? The fact that she went to the title shot, lost, and is now taking her next fight. We just see so many fighters not come back right for that next one. So many fighters not come back right for that next one. So I'm worried about that. Now, I do trust her and Patchy, both them coming off of L's, to like really hit the grindstone and come correct and be ready to go, because I know they say they don't care, right? But their names, their reputations, all that shit's at stake here. So I fully expect Tatiana to come correct. And we've seen Amanda Lemos struggle with exactly this kind of fighter before. She has bad takedown defense, and she's really just kind of a turtle off of her back. She's developed some subs, right? She's got that real tight squeeze. She knows how to be aggressive from there, but her whole thing is the power on the hands. Lemos is just nuclear on the feet. I am not sure that Tatiana is going to be able to hang with her on the feet. I feel like Tati's going to be scared. Like, she'll take one or two big shots and she's going to look like she's out of her depth and she's terrified until she gets a body lock. Like, as soon as she gets on that body, as soon as she clamps her hands together, Lemos is going for a ride. And then that's it. It's just going to be a race to the finish. Can I get you to the ground before you hurt me? And that's going to be the whole fight. So I don't like minus 440 on that one. My prediction is that the favorite will win here, right? I am picking Tatiana Suarez. I could see her getting like a strongman style submission, like an arm triangle or something that deep in the fight. But frankly, I think she's going to be getting tired. I think her scrambling for her life, trying to avoid the power and desperately getting these takedowns, like, I really feel like we're going to see a lot of control time here. And we have seen improvements from Amanda Lemos, so I could see her threatening in some of these situations. So I think Tati by decision plus 191 over on Cloud Bet. I think that's probably the move. I don't know that either of these women are really going to find a finish. There's a chance. There's a chance, right? But both of them are so tough. Both of them are so durable. This is going to be a very high level battle, and the stakes are high for this one too, right? So I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're looking at beyond the decision here for Tatiana Suarez. Chris is saying Tati's got to be one of our locks at inside the distance against the 38-year-old. I mean, yeah, but like, did you see her last fight though? And it's not just the 38-year-old, right? Like Amanda Lemos is not some 38-year-old. Like this chick's nasty. Like Amanda Lemos is dirty. Let's see here. How old is Tati? I just, and this is her second run, second like professional career in combat. She's 34. So I mean, there's not a massive gap there, man. The miles on the body, I don't know that there's a huge difference here. Verna was able to sub Amanda Lemos, and I know she got submitted standing arm triangle by Andrade, but that was a lifetime ago. She's not that person anymore. She's not that bad on the ground anymore. And Tati doesn't go for arm bars, right? She's not the kind of fighter who's going to be slick looking for those kinds of things. She's a choke artist. Guillotines, rear naked chokes, maybe a Darce while you're getting up. Like you could look for the Darce choke if you wanted to, but like I don't see her rolling for arm bars and stuff like that or trying to set stuff up from top position. I think it would be a front choke, or she can find her way to the back in a scramble. Maybe. So it's Tati by sub or decision. I don't know if you like those dual finish props or something like that, but I think the Tati sub or decision. Oldie, what's going on, buddy? Glad you could be here. Dad Bod, what's going on? Welcome to the show, everybody. Kurt's happy to see you here. Yeah, lots of injuries and surgeries. That's the thing. A lifetime of injuries and surgeries. So like that 4-year age gap, I'm not sure it matters on this one. They might be physically roughly the same age, right? Maybe. We'll see. Next up, you guys, this is one that I think I probably need to move on. I've been talking about this fight all week and just staring at it, and I think I need to move on it. Claudio Puelles takes on Joaquim Silva, 156 pounds for both of these men, and oh my lordy, Claudio Puelles looks good, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I know you guys are expecting to get the jacked from Neto BJJ, right? And of course, he's always jacked. That man is always in incredible shape. But Claudio Puelles looks absolutely amazing. He's a different person. And yes, Jones, I will work on that. That's exactly what I'm working on here. Puelles is taking a long layoff, right? So we're going to see a new version of this kid. He's coming into his prime right now. He's got his man muscles, and he's got a new doctor that helped develop those man muscles. So he's going to be much stronger, more physical than we've seen him the last couple of times. He's working on he's going to have that cardio. He's going to have that reach and that range advantage. When you get these young fighters that are coming into their prime, they can make massive improvements, and you just don't see it coming, right? Because they've been doing nothing but train. They've been doing nothing but train since the last time we saw them. So we don't know what these wrinkles in his game are going to look like. We don't really know what to expect from him in this spot. I really like Claudio Puelles. I do. I've been high on Claudio Puelles since he made it here. He's one of those one-off type of fighters where the UFC is trying to push somebody from a certain region. He's the Prince of Peru. He's the only Peruvian fighter the UFC has on the roster right now. So they're trying to put him in a position where he can succeed. He went to a split with Faraz Ziam, which in hindsight, that ages pretty well, right? Faraz has been pretty solid lately. So if you can manage a split decision, even if it was, a little bit questionable, like that's not a bad deal. And Neto BJJ, just very recently, you guys, let's look at the people he's beating, right? Jesse Ronson. Ronson was juiced to the gills, and that's the only way he got his only UFC victory. That guy broke every steroid rule in the book. And after they caught him back when USADA was a thing, they took him off those roids, and he got smoked by everybody, right? Now he got schooled by Arman Saryukin, and yes, he clipped Arman with a big one. But after that, it was all one-way traffic. He beat Clay Guida. Guys, Clay Guida, he could be my dad. Like, this guy is so old at this point. Clay should not be in the octagon these days, and he's got no hands. All he can do is wrestle. Like, that's not an impressive victory in the year 2025. I know that was 2 years ago, and Clay had a little bit more juice left in the tank, but still. And his last fight was Drakkar Close over a year ago. So Neto BJJ is a 36-year-old bite down on the mouthpiece and throw. This guy is he's a relic of a bygone era. That doesn't win fights in the UFC anymore. So we're taking on a guy who's old, who's going to be a little bit slower. And man, I think it's totally set up for Claudio Puelles to come back here and get this win. If he wants to stay at range and show off some like new striking techniques that we're going to have to bank on the fact that he's developed, I think that's on the table. If he wants to scramble and wrestle and roll, I do think he's super live in the grappling. He's always live. And I think we're going to see him probably have the better cardio, right? So he's going up against a guy that we know can slow down. I like Claudio Puelles. I like taking kind of the leap and just being like, I'm going to trust that this kid is in fact the elite prospect that he was billed as. The UFC rushed this guy. They wanted him to take out Dan Hooker, and they found out that was too much too soon. Now he's got that elite level experience, took the L, but took some time off, developed, grow. Come on back, kid. I'm not going to bet a 36-year-old against that guy. I'll take the kid. Yeah, Colby knows what's up. Puelles season. That's what I'm saying. And that's, Gilo, it's funny because I don't think it's the hardest one to pick at all. I think there's harder ones to pick on here by far. Like, I know it's a pick 'em, right? So, like, it's a coin flip, but you've got two guys that are trending in different directions, in my opinion. I think it's pretty clean which one the UFC wants to see win here. Next up, you guys, maybe the other main event of the night. Oh, man, we got Jose Medina taking on Dusko Todorovic. Both guys came in at 186 pounds. This is a pretty respectful face-off here. Medina looks to be the slightly larger man, although even with all the weight loss and the success story coming from this guy, Dusko still seems to have a little bit more muscle on the frame, right? Respectful face-off. You got Jose Medina, who likes to get in the face a little bit. I am digging the streak in the hair. Not going to lie. This is dog or pass, guys. This is dog or pass. Dusko's donezo. Like, I don't see a world where Dusko has any gas left in the tank. His last couple of fights have all been brutally awful. His fight with Zach Reese specifically, I actually bet him in the Zach Reese fight. I don't know if you guys recall this. That's just descriptive of what I think of Zach Reese, right? I do not think highly of Zach Reese. I bet Dusko against Zach Reese. It was 1-1 going into the third, and all this man had to do was step forward and throw a couple of punches. Zach Reese had nothing left in the tank. Zach Reese is like Edmund Shabazian without as much power. Like, that guy's got such a bad gas tank, and he just doesn't have the death touch. So he's just bad. So this guy couldn't do anything to him in the third round. He was coming forward and couldn't do a damn thing. I can't help it, man. Like, it's Medina or pass. I haven't bet it yet. What I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to watch because we have seen Jose Medina be a punching bag. We've seen this guy do nothing but smile and then like walk forward and wave his opponent on. We've seen him get eaten alive like that. So Dusko wants to grapple. We know Dusko wants to grapple. Dusko don't want to get touched no more. He doesn't want to get touched on the chin. He doesn't want to get hit. I expect him to come out here and wrestle. We hit this thing live, man. And I'm not even going to wait for the end of round one. I'm talking 3.5 minutes in, right? I think Dusko is going to fall off a cliff. I think we're going to get a round 2, round 3 TKO for Jose Medina. And those numbers, by the way, are insane. Plus 23-1 and 41-1 using Cloud Bet for the round 2 and round 3 props. I think Jose Medina finds himself a late finish, but doing the live bet, we make sure he's not just completely rinsed or out of his depth. He doesn't get finished in the first round with a choke or something like that. Because, I mean, if Dusko turns back the clock and he looks good, this is the kind of guy that he probably would do that against and win via round 1 finish. So I want to avoid losing my money on this awful underdog. Jump in live, make sure everything looks okay, and then watch him turn the tables. And then you don't even have to worry about the round 2, round 3, because you could see Medina winning a decision as well. You don't have to get those round 2, round 3 props home. You could get the decision prop on Medina as well. So you want the money line, you want the biggest money line you can, you want the safest money line you can. Wait 2 or 3 minutes into the fight and then decide whether or not you want to jump in on Jose Medina. That's what I'm looking at. Z saying that he's already got Medina 2 or 3. I don't hate it, man. Like I said, I think those are absolutely on the table. I do not hate it. Dusko sweaty decision. Possible. He's the better fighter, you guys, by a mile. He's got a lifetime of experience of MMA training, whereas this guy likes to come in here and bang. So absolutely, Dusko could win this fight. But I don't know that Dusko's got the will anymore. That's all it comes down to me, right? And Essex, if Medina knocks him out quick, then I was right. You know what I mean? Like I'll take the bragging. I'll take the bragging of saying I picked the underdog Medina, right? I will err on the side of caution to make sure I'm locking up a winning ticket rather than blindly covering my eyes and throwing the dart against the worst fighter or on the worst fighter. I'll absorb that L, right? Like I'll go ahead and just say it's okay to miss out on the round 1 finish if it does happen to go that way, and then I'll just be happy for our guy Jose Medina, and I'll be excited that I was correct that he won the fight, and I was correct that Dusko was shot, and we'll move on from there. I think the better opportunities are the round props or the live bet, and then you don't have to worry so much about if he just gets completely mauled, because the opposite is true, right? What if he's not on the level? What if he's just bad? Because that is completely possible. All right, guys. We're about to get to the main card here, and there's a bunch of you in here live with me. So thank you all for being here for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show. Please, by all means, make sure you're clicking the link in the description below. Make sure you're getting signed up with Cloud Bet using promo code DieHardMMA. And again, once you guys get all signed up and set up, if you're using promo code Hughes, every $10 you bet is going to be an entry to a giveaway where you could be in Abu Dhabi watching the PFL. Hughes versus Nurmagomedov, everybody. They're giving one away. Every $10 is an entry for this giveaway. First place is a VIP package at the fights. You have to get yourself there, but once you're there, cage side VIP tickets with Paul Hughes after party, signed gloves by Paul Hughes, and a swag pack. Second place, more tickets. You still get to go, just not so VIP. And then third place is the PFL Cloud Bet swag package. So make sure you guys are getting in there. Gamble your faces off. Every $10 is an entry. Get in there now, because this only runs through the end of September. We've got like 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks left for you guys to get the entries in to win your giveaway and win that spot cage side at the PFL. Let's go ahead and continue the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show. The next fight up, you guys, is going to be, I forgot these guys' names, Santiago Luna and Quang Lee. This is the hardest fight to pick on the card, my friends. I had this fight very specifically in mind when we were talking about the toughest fight on the card to pick. Quang Bang Lee. He's a tough old leather boot. He's another guy who doesn't want to go anywhere. He's a guy that's willing to throw down. And his opponent, I'm not overly familiar with the game of Santiago. This is one of the ones where I didn't get enough time throughout the week, and I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to beforehand. We already talked about, the short streaming schedule and all that kind of stuff. I am just going to watch this fight, you guys. I am just going to watch this fight. We've also got Luna coming in here on short notice, right? Quang had another opponent. This kid is 21 years old. He's undefeated. He trains at a good gym, but we know what that looks like in the UFC. If you're not quite there yet, like you could look like a world beater, but then you get to the UFC and you realize the levels are different. Now, Quang is not the guy who I want to write home about, right? Quang at 33 years old is not the guy that I'm like, oh, he's going to fraud check him. No, like this guy was supposed to get on Dana White's Contender Series. They brought him in short notice against Chris Gutierrez instead because they needed him to fill a hole. He's 1-2 in the UFC now. He got a big win over Gaston Bolanos to basically save his job. But outside of that, he's kind of gotten beat up for his other fights in the UFC. So it all comes down to what's the level of this kid. But at 21 years old, I am not going to count on Santiago Luna coming in here and continuing to be that world beater. I like the kid. He's obviously got a lot of upside. He's obviously in the right place. I just don't know if he's there yet. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's there yet. 30 telling me to bust out the tinfoil hat. He says, Luna, welcome to the UFC Noche setup night. Yeah, man. It's possible. It's possible. It's just that at 6-0, that's just not enough experience, right? Just not enough experience. Kwang's been knocked out once, so like maybe he could clip him, but he's older, he's man muscled up, he's got more experience, he's been at the UFC level for a while. It's absolutely Luna or pass, you guys. It's absolutely Luna or pass. I wouldn't be dead putting my money on Kwang Lee in this spot. I can't justify that. I just can't find an angle to do so. So yeah, it's Luna or pass. He's a slight favorite in this spot. I think that makes sense on the Noche card. I think he's got a lot of upside. So I'll be very, very careful, and I'll be looking very much forward to the future of this kid's career. But this is a note-taking expedition for me. This is one where I need to know. I need to see it. I need to watch this kid go out there and play at the highest level before I'm willing to put my hard-earned money on him. That's all I got for you. So yeah, Luna for me. Luna for me. Yeah, people saying if it was a full moon, I'd bet him. Louis Mack likes fight doesn't go the distance. Okay. All right. I don't mind that. I don't mind that one bit. All right. Next up, you guys, we have got Alexander Hernandez making a quick turnaround here against, oh, man, the old Brazilian himself, Carlos Diego Ferreira. 155.5 for Alexander Hernandez, 156 for CDF. Hernandez back up at 155, which I think makes sense. That's been his whole cut down to 145, that experiment. Like, I know he wants to be a bully, but it completely destroyed his cardio. I think it completely destroyed his faith in himself. He couldn't push a pace anymore. Like, it was not a good move. It was not a good move. Now he's back up at 155, and he seems to have kind of recouped himself. He's recovered. He's focused in on his craft, and seems like he's doing a little bit better these days. But man, I still can't shake the feeling that Carlos Diego is just going to have a little too much for him, man. I think Alexander Hernandez by decision is the prop that you want to be on here, but I don't know that I actually want to pull the trigger on it. I feel like there's a little bit of value there because that knockout was so fast in his last fight. People are going to expect him to finish here, but I think this is going to be like a blood and guts, tooth and nail type of fight, you guys. I actually like the over here. I like the over 2.5. It's like minus 130 for the over 2.5. Hernandez by decision is plus 308 on cloudbet.com. Those are absolutely the things that we would be looking at for this fight. I want to take the young guy, right? But like something, it's funny because at the beginning of the week, I was like, man, I want to fade the narrative, right? You got Hernandez coming in here hot off the heels of that knockout of Chase Hooper. I think I'm going to ditch that narrative and go with the old dog here. But then throughout the week, I'm just like, man, like, what if he just wrestles though? Like, what if we see the old version of Hernandez, not the marauding power striker version, right? But like the usual one that comes out here in double legs. I think it's a Hernandez decision. I think it's a Hernandez decision. So I kind of like the 3-1 there. Hart says Diego, Brain says Alexander. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. That's kind of where I'm at. This is another really tough fight to call, frankly, guys. Colby likes CDF. 2025 is the year of the old man, right? The year of the steroids, the year of the lack of USADA. Turn back the clock, baby. Absolutely. I can see it. I can see it. I do think CDF absolutely has some run left in him. So I think that's a very live possibility. But man, I don't know. I just don't know. Oh boy, guys, I don't even, do we have to talk about this one? Oh, so we have got a spot where Kelvin Gastelum was supposed to be joining the Mexican cartel on this card and just getting A+ treatment, putting him on the spotlight, putting him on the main card, Noche, Heritage, right? Like they're helping this dude out. And he completely blows it. Completely blows it. He came in at 191 pounds, you guys. 191. If this guy was fighting Pitbull, this fight would be canceled. But thankfully, he's fighting my guy, Dustin Stolzfus, in there instead. And so Dustin said, I wish I had the clip. I wish I had the clip pulled up for you. He said, I hope he misses weight so I can take an extra 30%. Like, he wanted this man to miss weight so he could take the cash. He got his wish. Kelvin missed and was fined 35%, you guys. 35%. This is a guy who should be fighting at 170 pounds, is now losing weight at 185. You guys, you know what? We haven't done this. It's switching hats time. I am so done with Kelvin Gastelum. I am so done. This is retirement body language. This is retirement body language. We've had scares. We've had weight misses, right? We've had problems, and he keeps coming back. They keep giving him shot after shot after shot. And, even some of his fights recently, like, he's struggled through them and gotten it done, right? But he's 2-2 in his last 4. And now he's not even showing up in shape. Now he's just not even showing up. What have we seen work against Kelvin Gastelum really well? Grappling. Got submitted by Joe Pyfer. Got submitted by Sean Brady. Got grappled by Joe Pyfer. Got grappled by a lot of guys, right? He got heel hooked by Jack Hermanson back in the day. Like, that's always been a bit of a problem for him, is he's too small at 185 pounds and he gets bullied around the cage. This straight up is lack of effort. This is lack of interest. This is, I've got businesses. This is, I'm no longer a contender. This is him saying, that's a wrap, boys. And frankly, you guys, Kelvin Gastelum's a volume guy. He has never, ever been a massive power puncher, right? We're doing it. We're doing it. You guys, I have to. I absolutely have to. We are betting Dustin Stolzfus this week. So I talked about this on Monday, that I was like, man, I would love to like take a run at my old dog here and take a shot with Dustin. He's my boy. He's gritty. He's always underrated. But at the end of the day, like, Kelvin Gastelum's got that champion caliber. Kelvin Gastelum's a guy who could be fighting for a title. Not this version of Kelvin Gastelum. Not Majin Buu up here, not able to make the 185-pound limit at 33 years old. This guy is rolling up for a paycheck. This guy is showing up for one last run. This guy's leaving his shirt on at the pool. What is my boy Dustin doing? Not only does he have a significant size advantage in this spot, as you can see, not only does he have a significant size advantage, he took this shit seriously. He's in shape. This guy is tough. Like, Dustin Stolzfus was beating most of his opponents up until like fluke situations, right? So like, let's rewind the clock a little bit. Gerald Meerschaert, Rodolfo Vieira, Narco and I talked about this. He's unfortunately a guy who finds a way to lose rather than being the type of fighter who finds a way to win. He's a guy who but accidentally finds a way to lose. So I'm a little bit worried about that here in this spot. But the people who are knocking him out, the people who are getting him are smoking him, and they're smoking him early. Right? It's Bruno Ferreira. The guy's got enormous power. It's Abus Magomedov, a guy you can't start fast and run in face first against. Like, he learned lessons against those two brutal, vicious power punchers. The rest of these guys are having to grind him, right? Nursultan Ruzaboev was fighting for his life. Gerald Meerschaert and Rodolfo Vieira were on the ropes. They got late subs when this guy slowed down. Do you think Kelvin Gastelum's going to throw up a triangle in round 3? It is all too clear, ladies and gentlemen. It has become clear. It was my tingle on the back of my neck on Monday, right? Thursday for me, Monday for you. It was the tingle on the back of my neck that I said, I want to bet Dustin Stolzfus this week. I do. I want to. And watching Kelvin roll up, ready to make his light heavyweight debut, that's the sign. That's what I needed. It's Dustin Stolzfus fight week, baby. We are going to get the Kelvin Gastelum retirement. He's going to lay the gloves down in the center of the octagon after my boy taps him out. That's right. We're going balls deep here. We're going to look at the underdog. Dustin is a plus 195 favorite. And then we are going to take the fucking sub prop, everybody. I'm not even joking. We're going to take Dustin Stolzfus by submission at plus 1040. 10-1 on Dustin Stolzfus to go out there and tap out fat, tired Kelvin Gastelum when he can't grapple with him anymore. That's what we're doing. I wish there was a retirement prop, Supa. I wish there was a retirement prop. Unfortunately, I don't think there is one, but there should be. There absolutely should be. Thank you for showing up, by the way. I'll get you those privileges we talked about. That's my boy, by the way, guys. Super Green Samurai is a man who I have spent blood, sweat, and tears on the mats with before. So be nice to that man. He's a good dude. All right, everybody. Let's move along, because now that I have planted my flag and now that I have made a statement, we have got more fights to talk about. We've got Jared Gooden taking on Rafa Garcia. And I have to shout out my boy Timmy Troiano from the Narco Cop podcast, the Lambo Place podcast. He always posts out this thing and he's like, guys, it's Rafa, not Hoffa. He's Mexican. He's not Brazilian. The Brazilians have me trained, you guys. I'm so sorry. And Tim, I keep telling you, every Rafa Garcia fight week, text me the day before the podcast. I don't need to be publicly shamed on Twitter when I say it wrong every damn time. Text me beforehand so I remember to pronounce my R for this man's name. This was an intense face-off, you guys. I love this fight. I love this fight so much. I do have a parlay here. I got a two-legger here, and Jared is one of the legs of my two-leg parlay, guys. So we have got a spot where I think there's just levels, right? Rafa 155.5, Jared Gooden 156. Rafa's a guy that has kind of struggled in the UFC. I like Rafa. I love the cardio. I love the gas tank. I love the grappling. I love the pressure. He's a guy that you can count on to go out there and fight for your money. But at 31 years old, he's really only beaten old guys. Mahashat, he literally just got cut. Clay Guida, a guy who, for being a wrestler, struggles with grapplers in the UFC sometimes, and his old, and that was 2 years ago, Vince Pichel. Like, you're going to tell me that a Vince Pichel win in 2025 means you're ready for the next level? I don't. Like, he loses to guys like Drakkar Klose and Grant Dawson. He's another Jesse Ronson murderer. Like, he lost to Nazareth Hackprest, Chris Grutzmacher. Like, I believe we have the fully developed end version, final form of Rafa Garcia. And with that being said, I just don't think he's as good as Flash Gordon is. Now, Jared Gooden is 37 years old, and I know I've talked to you guys a bunch about this guy's durability, right? But I've also walked that back the last couple of years. We've seen that the durability is not what I thought it was. I was wrong. I was absolutely incorrect about the durability of Jared Gooden, just generally speaking, right? These guys are going to grapple. Jared Gooden can grapple. These guys are going to go 15 minutes. Jared Gordon's got cardio to keep up with Garcia. Garcia physically stronger? I mean, maybe? I don't even know. But Gordon's a better boxer. So, I mean, if we're just going down the list and we're going cardio, even wrestling, even striking, Gordon. I mean, like, it's one of those things where I think Gordon's just pipped ever so slightly one notch better than Rafa Garcia in this fight. I know a lot of people are taking the flyer on Rafa Garcia as a slight dog here, and I get it. I respect it. And usually you don't want to be on the old dog in this kind of situation, but I do really believe that Gordon is fighting the best MMA of his life at 37 years old. And I've just got to ride that while I can. So too big of a favorite? Maybe. But I've got him in a parlay. And that's that. I'm going to go ahead and ride this thing, man. If Rafa's the one that upsets me here, then so be it. God bless him. You know, I'm going to ride Jared Gooden until the wheels fall off at this point. I've seen enough. Yeah, Gooden in a decision. It's a war. How about that? What's up? Good to see you, buddy. All right, guys. Next up, we have got Rob Font taking on David Martinez. This was the shuffle, right? David Martinez got up in this spot against Rob Font here, filling in on short notice, taking a big opportunity. And I like this guy. I really like this guy. This is another aged veteran, savvy fighter in Rob Font who's taking on a young buck, and we'll see how that goes. David Martinez is just 27 years old, you guys. 27 years old, 1-0 in the UFC. This story does not usually end well. Like, let's just call it what it is. When you get run up to the top like this, it does not usually end well. However, I will say for this particular fighter, he's got a very, very good game. I like his cardio. I like his pace. I like his leg kicks. He's very elusive in the cage. He's going to be hard for Rob Font to track down. And that's always Rob Font's thing, is he'll just overwhelm you with volume, right? But you also have to be willing to engage him. If you're not willing to engage with Rob Font, he'll be punching at air for the whole fight, right? And we have seen Rob Font lose fights on durability. And no, he's never been knocked out. He's tough, man. This is a very tough fighter. He's never been KO'd in his entire career, but he's getting up there. He set records for how much damage he's taken. He's 38 years old, and this kid can crack. He gets you moving around the cage. He walks you into something big when you're not expecting it. And then he's chipping at your leg kicks basically the entire time you've got him running around the cage. This is a pick 'em, guys. This is a pick 'em price tag kind of fight. And frankly, I think I kind of like Martinez for the upset. I know that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Taking a guy with one UFC fight experience over a guy like Rob Font. But this is a stylistic thing. I just think Rob's going to struggle. I think he's going to have a hard time connecting on this guy. And then I think Martinez is going to have no problem chewing up the legs of Rob Font. We've seen that be effective before. And we've seen a couple leg kick TKOs recently. So I don't know if he's going to actually get him out of there, but there's a very real possibility that this kid kicks Rob's leg off. Dirty said Chewy wanted nothing to do with Rob Font after that film review. Man, I don't know. Rob Font got smoked on the ground by a guy a weight class lower than him, right? Figgy moved up and bullied this man around the cage. Chewy Weeze was going to bury him. I'm sorry. That was not going to be a problem. That was a setup fight if I've ever seen one. They wanted that kid to roll in here and take a win off a veteran with a big name, and I think that was going to happen. Damn near guaranteed. Oh man, Dirty Reg says Font's my favorite spot on the card. I respect it. I'm not betting it. Let me be clear about this. I'm saying I think Martinez has a path to victory here, but I am not betting this one because Rob Font has made me look foolish in the past, and I can't trust a guy with one win in the UFC on this level. Yes, Colby's saying Font by levels, and that I agree with. I absolutely agree with that. Noche card, lean Martinez. That's fair. Man, but I'm just going to watch this one. I do think that Martinez has the power to stun Rob, which we've seen him lose to in the past. I think the leg kicks are a problem. But yeah, if it's a levels fight, so be it. We'll see. I want to watch it, guys. I'm not betting this one. Hands in the pockets. All right, everybody, hit that like button for me. Please make sure you check out CloudBet. Please use the link in the description below and promo code DieHardMMA. And let's talk about our main event of the evening for Noche UFC. The best fight on the board. Diego Lopez takes on Gene Silva. 146 for Lopez, 145.5 for Gene Silva. And oh my Lord, this is going to be such a banger, you guys. This is going to be such a banger. I cannot wait for this fight. So Lopez is like, this is weird because he's like my favorite fighter right now in this weight class. I love his attitude. I love how often he fights. I love his, I'll die or I'll kill you or I'll die trying type of attitude and style. Love this guy. Love everything about him. Love how he stormed into the UFC a year and a half ago and took over, and he's already fought Volkanovski and he's hunting for a second title opportunity, right? Like, I love this guy. But I think Gene Silva is going to murder him. Gene is not built like the other fighting nerds, you guys. This guy has so much just like, he's a head case. He's got so much raw emotion that he's like crying in every single one of his training videos, seeing his opponents or his teammates lose. He's like screaming and sobbing and like biting his shirt off and stuff. Like, this guy's insane. He's an actual wild animal. He's a nut job. And in MMA, that's exactly what you want. He's got ungodly power at 145. He's insanely strong. Bryce Mitchell touched this man. Bryce Mitchell locked up with this guy and went, fuck, I got to switch weight classes. Like, I mean, that's how strong he is. Someone with the mental capacity of Bryce Mitchell had a moment where he was seeing things clearly. And while I love Diego, he's got that never say die attitude, and he wants to come forward and he wants to trade with you, and he's getting better. He's open to shots, man. He is open to getting cracked. I can't get around the defensive holes. I just can't. You're going to get hit by this man, Silva. You're going to get hit. And I don't think you want to get hit. Drew Dober at 155 couldn't get hit by this guy. The Crimson Chin himself couldn't get hit by this guy. I don't think Lopez is going to be able to take those shots. I just don't. Yitra with a decent point here. I feel like the community is doing one-sided analysis, only pointing out DL's flaws and Silva's strengths. Silva's chin all the way up in the air and his lead leg all the way out front, begging to get chewed. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. With all of these fights, with all of the analysis, I'm going to tell you what I see, right? And I think the openness of counter shots to the chin is just the biggest factor in this fight. Cardio checks out for both these guys. Toughness and durability and heart checks out for both these guys. Skill level checks out for both these guys. There's an edge in raw power on Gene Silva's side, and there's a defensive hold on the side of Diego Lopez. That's what I got for you, man. So there's a very real chance, maybe you're right? Maybe Diego goes to the leg kicks and eats up Gene Silva. But I've never seen that before, right? Like I've never seen Gene Silva compromised by leg kicks before. It could happen. I just don't have any reason to believe it's going to here in this spot. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like it, man. I have a 2-leg parlay. That's the other leg, by the way, guys, is Gene Silva parlayed with Jared Gordon. I'm a little more worried about Jared being the one that busts the parlay than I am about Gene. I'm extremely confident in Gene Silva. I like Gene Silva by knockout. It's even money. You got to watch the sub, though, because the plus 900, the way this guy squeezes, even someone who's as savvy with his defense as Lopez is, it's not a leg. It's not an arm. I'm worried about the neck, right? You can't tough your way out of a choke. If he gets that squeeze on you, you're going to go unconscious and the ref will have to save you. So it's not like the knee bar situation where he refuses to tap. If he gets a neck, Gene Silva will choke you unconscious. So I do think it's an inside the distance, but it's a 5-round fight. So if you're asking me my opinion on the total, it's set at 2.5. It's like minus 165 for the over 2.5. And it's interesting because I think this fight finishes. And I don't like the over here, but I will pick the over. Like I feel like I have to pick the over, just relying on both these guys' durabilities. The problem, I talked about this on my Total Takedown show. If you guys want to run through the totals, check out the Total Takedown, which is right here on the channel. I think both these guys had hit the gas in round 1, and we could just never stop. You know what I mean? Like if these guys decide to throw caution to the wind and throw down, this thing's over in 60 seconds. So there's too much volatility in that kind of a fight for me to lay an over 2.5. I've seen too much finishing power from both guys. I've seen way too much concussive force on both sides of this fight to ever feel comfortable betting it over. Is it the right bet? This is a high-level fight where a title's on the line? Yeah, probably. Over 2.5 is probably the way that you got to look. But I can't rule out the fact that one of these guys could be face down on the canvas in the first. So it's not a play that I'm overly interested in myself. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the Undefeated post-weigh-in show. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Enjoy Noche UFC tomorrow. I hope you guys make absolute piles of cash. Of course, I'll tweet out my final card. I'll get that posted up for you guys probably first thing tomorrow morning. Gonna enjoy some time, go whip the daughter's butt in Mario Kart tonight, something like that, right? And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. I am super, super excited to see this fight card. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. Have a good one, you guys. Let's roll.